Hey folks, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Debbie and this is my test kitchen. I often decide to make something, come out here and get a bunch of ideas in my head and whip something up, and most of the time it comes out good. Today I'm going to try making some mascarpone cookies. I've got an 8-ounce tub of mascarpone cheese, which I'm going to use about 3/4 of it. And I'm going to use probably about 2 cups of flour, 1 egg, some vanilla, and some sugar or artificial sweetener. So, I've got my trusty mixer here. Couldn't live without that baby. Different utensils for the mixer, and I'm going to need some artificial sweetener if my assistant could get that for me out of the pantry. No, it's not far away. Yes, that pantry. Thank you. Alright, so 3/4 of this tub of mascarpone. And I'm just basing these amounts on usually what you'd find in a cookie recipe, or that I have found in the past in a cookie recipe. Are you having a little trouble in there, assistant? I think I lost my assistant.
Assistant's fine.
Did you find it? It's in a bag.
Not yet.
The yellow bag?
Hold on.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you very much. So, I got the cheese. Ooh! I got cheese, and now I'm going to put the sweetener in there. I would say probably about a cup. So, let's see. I like to use the half-cup measuring cup. It's just a little bit easier. I don't typically measure things very closely either, which makes it tough when I try to make something twice. But that's just the way it goes. Okay, now I'm going to mix this up. And while that's mixing, I'm going to crack an egg. I like to put it into a separate dish first in case something bad happens. Don't want to ruin the whole recipe just because you get one bad egg. They say one bad apple doesn't spoil the whole punch, but a bad egg can sure ruin the whole recipe. Alright, that's creaming up. And I think I'm going to add a little more sweetener. Maybe another 1/4 cup or so. And then give it a little mix. Throw the egg in. A little bit of vanilla. Maybe a teaspoon or 2. So much for precision.
Why is the test kitchen?
That's right, that's why it's a test kitchen. Thank you, assistant. Okay, so we've got that going on, and I should preheat the oven. 350. I'm going to bake these on the top shelf, probably around 11 minutes each. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Now to this, I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking powder. Yeah, powder. I'm never really quite sure what to use, but I think I'm going to go with the powder this time. Not really sure exactly why I decided that, but 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and some flour. Get this cheese out of the way. Let's see. Clean this little sucker off a little bit. And we're going to put in a couple of cups of flour, just so that we can get a better idea for next time. I'm going to start out with 1 cup and I'm going to mix it. And then once it gets a little bit thicker, I'm going to put the dough hook in. So I don't have to work at it. And maybe it needs a little salt too. I think sometimes there's salt in cookie recipes. So I'm going to, ooh, that's way too much. I just want a little bit, a couple pinches. Alright, this is getting all goopy. And oven's heating up. So I'm going to try switching this out. Unfortunately, I have to use my fingers. Yeah, it's coming together kind of nice. Maybe I should have just started with the dough hook. This is pretty thick dough. Of course, if you're not lazy, as I am, you can just mix it all by hand. And now I'm going to add another cup of flour. Whoosh. See how that goes. But before I do that, I'm going to turn my chocolate melter on because I'm going to start preparing for the filling. Did I say what I was making? Assistant, did I say what I was making?
Something that begins with an M. No?
I did. I said it wrong though. I'm making tiramisu cookies. That's what I'm making.
Okay, let the audience know.
I couldn't remember what I said. Okay, so tiramisu cookies, and I'm turning the chocolate melter on because that takes a while to get going. So first I'm going to add another cup of flour into the mixer. While that thing is heating up. Everything's heating up. We have the stove, the oven heating up, the chocolate melter heating up. Okay. And I've got some unsweetened chocolate squares that are going to go into the melter. You could probably do it in a double boiler too. And the first time I made this, I actually was using a small bowl that had boiled water in it, and I kept swapping it out with just using smaller bowls because it was like totally on a whim, and I had no idea what I was doing at the time. So I'm going to melt the chocolate in here. And the dough's not really looking that great, so I'm going to have to do something with that. Let me just take a quick little scrape here on the sides if I can. It's a little bit dry. Maybe a little more cheese. I don't know. I'm just going to keep mixing it and hope for the best. Okay, so chocolate's in there. And I'm also going to need some instant coffee. I'm going to use a couple of packets. Let's see, 3. I really want that coffee flavor in there. I think there's like a teaspoon in each packet or something like that. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to open these little coffee things while the dough is still mixing. Looks like it's coming together. It probably would have been happier with butter than the cream than the mascarpone, but we're not making regular cookies, so too bad. Okay. Put the coffee in here. And I think it actually needs a little more flour. It's getting a little too sticky. So I'm going to hit that with a little more flour. And turn it back on. Get this coffee thing going. I like to multitask and get more than one thing done at a time. Makes things go along a little bit easier. And it's nice if you can clean as you go. That way you're not left with a big mess when you get done. Okay. Alright, that's going to need to mix for a little bit. Now to this coffee, I'm going to add a little bit of half and half. I would have used some cream, but I don't have any, so this is going to have to work. And I got to tell you right now, the chocolate does not like having liquid added to it. It hardens up right away as soon as you put the liquid in there, so it's a little tricky. Now I'm going to heat this up just a tiny bit, otherwise the coffee won't melt. I'm going to say 15 seconds to start. And I'm going to get the rum flavoring for the filling as well. Don't have too much of that left. Whew, that smells good. A little bit more. I'm going to give it another 25. Ooh, whoa. I don't know what that was all about. The audience cannot see what's on the other side of the mixer. I know. I'm sorry. There's nothing going on over there.
You're supposed to do that.
Sorry about that.
It's the test kitchen.
My cue cards. This is our first videoing of the test kitchen.
Videoing?
Videoing. Well, we are videoing. Let's see what the stuff looks like. Hey, that might work. It's sticky, but I think it's going to be okay. Now, I need to mix that coffee and cream combo. Put a spoon here. See if that's dissolving. Yep, that's coming along good. Check it out. Nice. The coffee's dissolving in the cream. I'm just going to put that aside because now I'm going to start, I'm going to test, bake some cookies. Like I said, they're going to take about 11 minutes to bake. And, you don't really get that much, do you? We're hoping that they're going to taste good. I didn't even smell them yet. Smells good. Okay, so I'm going to get my little scoop here, and that'll give me equal measurements of dough. And I'm just going to, it's still kind of a little too sticky, but see what happens. What I like to do is just put them on the sheet and I flatten them out with the bottom of a glass or a cup. No, a glass. And if they puff up in the oven, I'm going to flatten them out again as soon as they come out before they cool. That way that they're flat and they're good to put the filling in. That is if they come out right. You just never know what you're going to get in a test kitchen. Alright, I'm just going to do 4 right now, just to get these in the oven so that we're not taking up a whole lot of time. And I will finish making the filling later. Actually, I can work on that a little bit while these are in the oven. Alright, I've got those. And I'm going to grab my little flat bottom glass and I'm going to stick a small plastic bag over the bottom of it so that it doesn't stick to the dough like that. And I'm just going to press these down like so. It's okay if they bump up on the edges because it'll all even out when they bake. I think. We'll see. All right, these babies are going in. 11 minutes. I'm going to set the timer. And cross our fingers. Now on to the filling. Okay, so I've got 3 squares of chocolate in the melter. And I've got about 3 teaspoons of instant coffee with about 1/4 cup of half and half, but cream would probably work a little bit better. I think it will blend with the chocolate better. If you're using a candy melter, I've got this on high. I probably should have broken those up a little bit more, but I didn't. It would have melted faster. Now I'm going to add some rum flavoring. Boy, does that smell good. I'm going to put a lot in there. I really want that rum flavor to come out. So I'm just going to use all of it. That's all I got. Hopefully that'll be good enough. That smells delicious. It smells like Kahlua. Probably could have just used Kahlua, but that's okay. Maybe next time. Now I'm going to add a little bit of sweetener. I'm going to use artificial sweetener for this recipe. I've got 1/4 cup going in there very carefully, and it should dissolve pretty readily in there if you can see it. Can you see it? There. If you were using sugar, you would probably have to have this a whole lot hotter because sugar takes a lot higher heat to melt. And in that case, you might even want to just do it on top of the stove on a very low heat, just so you can keep an eye on it. You don't want the cream or half and half to boil. because I've never done it, but I've heard that bad things happen. Alright, so that's getting ready there. That looks really good. And it's probably, I think it's going to be sweet enough. Let me just get another little thing and taste it. I'm not really crazy about tasting that concentration of coffee. It's going to be a little much. Let's see what we get. That's really good. It does taste a lot like Kahlua. I'm going to actually add some more sweetener because that chocolate is going to be extremely bitter. And we don't want that. I think it takes a lot to make that dark chocolate have a nice mellow taste to it. We've got this melting. Looks good. Yeah, this looks really nice. Here, I'll give you a close-up. There we go. And we've got the chocolate melting in the melter here, which I should have started 20 minutes ago. That's just a part of the way things go. Okay. So we've got 6 more minutes on the cookies, but we're going to take a break and we'll be back. Okay, the cookies should be just about ready. And I've got this beautiful coffee, cream, and sweetener with rum flavoring. And my chocolate is just about all melted. Oh, there we go. Let's see how they look. They don't look too bad. However, they feel like little bricks. Just kidding. Just kidding. They're not as puffy as I thought they would be. They smell really good. They smell delicious. Okay. Cookies are out, and now I'm going to battle the chocolate and the coffee mixture. Because I know what's going to happen as soon as I put this in here. The chocolate's going to get all crazy on me and harden up. I think I'm going to heat this mixture just a little bit so that it will be a little more friendly towards the chocolate. Just bear with me a second here. I'll give her 15 seconds. The chocolate is all melted nice. And I'm going to just try it down a notch. I had it in melting, now I have it in stay warm mode. I don't want to overheat it. Overheating it is bad also. Alright, now, this is going to be tricky, I think. I'm going to pour this in here a little bit. I don't want to put all of it in at once because it might be too much. And yep, it's too much. The chocolate should start setting up. And the chocolate is thickening in here. And things are looking better. Yep. It's coming together. It didn't get all gnarly right away on me, which is good. This is the consistency I've got now, if you can see that. Nice and creamy. Looks like I used just the right amount, which is always nice when that happens. I'm going to leave that on the warmer. And even though the cookies are still quite warm, they smell really good. I'm going to just spoon a little bit on the back side of the cookie, a little bit of the chocolate. Of course, you would wait until they're cool, but I don't want you to have to hang around waiting. Or you could just serve them with the topping on one side if you wanted to, but my goal was to make a sandwich cookie, and I'm just going to put a little bit more in there, I think. I probably should have tasted that before I put it in there. And there you have it. Tiramisu cookie. Mascarpone cookie with a chocolate, coffee, rum flavored filling. And now for the test. Oh boy. Yep. This one's a keeper. Oh.
Another success in the test.
I gotta write this recipe down. That's really good. I'll get the recipe to you.